You're being controlled by your past, and you don't have choice in the present because autopilot is the boss. So for you to connect with this, you have to stay with the instructions to get there. This is the instructions of this. Your brain needs these instructions. If you don't have instructions, then you will be off. You will be off. And if you are off, you do not get what you wanted. You get something else. It's really simple. The person who has the instructions for their mind get where they're going. But Kirk, I don't know what to write. I just wrote it for you. So this is the coolest part, is that I'm going to help you along the way. I'm going to help you. And so this is a great place to start until you start to have ideas of what you want to have happen. And then you add to this paragraph or you adjust this paragraph. But I will tell you, the failure and the complete collapse of a vision, of a goal, of an idea, of living your purpose is because the old story takes over your brain and you're done. You're over. It's over. Boom, bam, gone. It's just done. I mean, it's so sad, but it's like once this story gets in people's heads, it's over. Because they believe it's true and they believe it's like, that's the way it is forever. And then I'm here saying, no, you gotta do this. And you know this. I'm preaching to the choir. This story has to come in and like get in here, the good story. And so that this story can start to be the past instead of being the present. This story, this right now is acting as though it's the final judgment. Like, this is who you are. And it's like, no, this is a collection of your past. Okay, but let's put it in the past. Let's let it just file. Let's let it just be done. Let's let it process. Let's introduce this new story. And you're going to have this happen right here. There's going to be overlap. And that's what you're going to wrestle with. That's what personal development is the wrestle of my past and my present and my future. Because this is my past, this is my future. And guess where they're wrestling? They're wrestling in my head. They're wrestling in my head. And they're both, my brain is like, no, this is true. And I'm like, no, this is true. And so this is the wrestle. This is what you personally wrestle with inside your head and inside your body. As soon as you wake up, all day long until you go to sleep, is who you are and what you can do. Who you are and what you can do. They overlap and they wrestle. And one tries to be the one in front, and then the other one tries to be the one in front, and they just go back and forth. They go back and forth. They go back and forth. And this is your struggle. This is your struggle to take over the autopilot. Autopilot in your head says that this is who you are because this came from your past. So that is autopilot thinking, meaning you don't have to think and your past will just run you. And you try to introduce a new program and your autopilot says, no. This is who we are. But that's your autopilot system in your head. Everybody has the same problem. Everybody faces this. Autopilot rules the navigation system of the mind. When we go to introduce a plan, an idea, instructions, a vision, where we want to go, autopilot goes, what are you doing? And you're like, no, I'm in charge now. And it's like, no, you're not. And you actually find out you don't have control. That's what you find out. you find out you don't have control. And people react differently to that. There's a bunch of different kinds of reactions. One, people throw tantrums. Oh, my life is so hard. It's like, oh, you're throwing a tantrum. That's one way to do it. Throw a tantrum because you tried, and then to say, that doesn't work for me. No, what you just said was, you're throwing a tantrum because you just found out you don't have control. And you're throwing a tantrum because you want to be dramatic, that somehow you're special, that your past is more powerful than anybody else's on the planet. And so you throw a tantrum. You throw a tantrum. Oh yeah, this is the worst thing ever. And oh my goodness, there's no way to change. And I just can't change. And it's like, that's called your autopilot is whooping you, whooping your tush, just whooping you. It's just whooping you. But see, most people don't understand what's going on here. So people will introduce some kind of mentoring or coaching technique, like a story, and it will come in and it will have no effect. And this could be happening to you because your autopilot is just saying no. So your wrestle is to actually become the pilot and actually take over the autopilot that's been running you because you've been unconscious of your life. So consciousness, this is the biggest struggle with becoming conscious, is to find out you lack self-control. It's what spanks you every day. It just spanks you where you don't have self-control. Everybody wrestles with self-control between autopilot and being the pilot. Your wrestle is to become the pilot and to be able to say, you know what? This takes over. This is what we're doing. And autopilot goes, what? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, this is what we're doing. Well, what do I do with this? We'll file it. That's history. We'll process it. Good. Great. Good to know. But this is who we are. That's what you're wrestling with, is self-control, because you've had autopilot running so much in your life. And so when you're in this program, in the mastermind, you are becoming the pilot. And then you're going to teach other people how to become the pilot of their life. And you're going to see them have tantrums. You're going to see them tell you that doesn't work. And you're going to say, by the way, your autopilot is running you. You can't even control yourself. You can't control your eating. You can't control your sleeping. You can't control how much time you're on TV. You can't watching TV. You can't control your temper. You can't control your emotions. You can't control your thoughts. You lack self-control. It's everybody's problem because their autopilot is what's driving them. And when people try and it gets kicked out, they think that they're broken. They think, or maybe you think you're broken. You think, what's wrong with me? Let me give you the answer. What's wrong is that autopilot is stronger than pilot. That's what's wrong with you. But it's not something that's broken. It's something that needs to be corrected. So when you're like, what's wrong with me? I can't do this and I can't move forward. It's this vision boards don't work and declarations don't work. It's like, you're waking up. Good job. You're waking up. It doesn't work for me. I know. Good job. You're waking up. What am I waking up to? You're waking up to autopilot runs you. Everything from your past is your boss. And you are the one that is being controlled by your past. past. You're being controlled by your past. And you don't have choice in the present because autopilot is the boss. It's the boss because autopilot has 80% control. And your new idea, your great idea, has 20% control. Pilot has 20%. Autopilot has 80%. That's a problem. That's a problem because you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to keep reliving the past because autopilot's like, no, this is what we do. No, this is what we do. And you're like, no, I want to do this. No, you're not doing that. And we're doing this. And you're like, man, I feel like I lack control. Yeah. What's wrong with me? It's called autopilot and pilot. And you're waking up to the fact your autopilot has way more percentage of power than you do.